You know, I'm not exactly sure. I'm a series person. I look for series. I like series. I like bookshops. I like libraries. I like murder mysteries. I like Lorna Barrett. I like Alison Brooke. I like them all. So I thought I'd give it a try. And now I'm like, I don't know. And somebody keeps putting their fingernails in my knee. Come over here. Hey, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina K-O-S-T-I-N-A. This is where I read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy smancy stuff going on here. Anyway, book 1. So far, there are 3 books in this series. And it's got that little bit of a Lorna Barrett feel, maybe, even an Alice Brooke feeling, even a, what's that other lady? But I, so Shelby, who is our main character, she's been living, this is a small town. It's a small little town. It's a shipping, touristy island situation. And the only way to access it is by ferry. And, I got something. It's a touristy place. And she's been living with her dad her entire life. Her dad told her mom died when she was 3. And, it's just been her and her dad. Now, her dad dies, and her aunt says, it's time to come home. You own half of this. I want to give you half of this bookstore that I work in and love and sell books and stuff like that. So she comes home, and, she doesn't know if she's going to stay or not. She's deciding on what to do with her life. She's in that phrase. And she's staying on a houseboat with a cat who she eventually adopts because the cat's a stray. Her relationship with her aunt is a little bit estranged in the beginning of the book, and it might take a while to warm up. I don't know yet, but her aunt's keeping a couple of secrets from her, and everybody in town must know some of it, or a small piece of it, of the secret, but no one's talking. It's one of those places that's so small that everybody knows everything about everybody's business. So she's learning how to do the bookstore. And I don't know, I just felt better about it with Lorna Barrett. There was just more time, more interaction between the characters. Most of the stuff happened on stage in a Lorna Barrett or an Alison Brooke or some of those other ladies that I can't think of right now. But a lot of this stuff you're told in the narrative. Some of it's in Shelby's POV, but most of it's a narrative. And I don't know it just didn't, there was no connection. There was no feeling in it. So this is nasty lady that works in the bookshop. She's also part of the Heritage Club, and she has her standards. She's also an author who wrote a little bit of a history piece. So she's published. And they like to have several books in the shop on local authors to promote the local history of the island, blah, blah, blah. Tourists will come and go, I want to find out about more of this place. And they sell the local author books with the history of the place. It also has a little bit of history of smuggling in it, too. And that's a little thing to bring people's imagination out. And it's got a castle, and that even brings more imagination out. You want to know the history of the castle and the history of the island, the history of the smuggling. And then, I didn't print out my notes. I should have. But so you have the bookshop employees. Taylor, who announces she's with child, and then Edie is the aunt, and then Zach. I think he's the love interest. Zach, and she spends a lot of time at the bakery too, so she gets to know the lady in the bakery, and the lady's brother in the bakery, Drew. Um, he's got a girlfriend who's got mounds and mounds of money, and she just likes to spend. And Drew's not sure about her because it's long distance, and because he doesn't want her to be spending all of his money because he really doesn't have any. All of his money is invested in his restaurant. He's a chef. So he's putting his feet in, tipping the toe in the water with Shelby. But then there's also Griffin, the Coast Guard guy, who's also dipping his water in with Shelby, toe in the water with Shelby. So there's a couple of these made me just feel a little, because the Coast Guard guy was actually pursuing Shelby. And I don't know, I was waiting for these two guys to end up being the suspect, but they weren't. But it just had that very uncomfortable feeling. I don't know why. The author probably did not intend that in any way, shape, or form. But it was just the way it came across. Wait a second. And the local cops don't like her. They come with attitudes right off the. It's just. So anyway, there's this busybody, and she's like with the Heritage Society, and we are going to preserve our little town, and we're going to keep our little town the same way, and if we make improvements, when it's going to be nothing drastic, it's going to be very minimalistic. And all these people on the town council know each other. They've known each other since like grade school. So they all obviously think alike, and no one's going to want to, do any major improvements to the place. They want to just preserve it as it is, and they're kind of solid and very structured and very unmoving, cement-like in. Maybe somebody wants to do a little improvement. It's mentioned in the book that someone put up a blue awning, and the other awning on the block was green, and the green one got there first. And the council was like, well, it needs to be uniform. It was just an awning. And the green awning wouldn't look good where the blue one is, and the blue one wouldn't look good where the green one is. So just leave these people alone. But that's the little nitpicking that this place does. So there's this Lorna lady, and she works in the bookshop, but she's got plans. She's got ideas. And she, not about changing anything though. Well, except for one little thing. She's got a nephew, and she wants to control everything. And she's upset when Shelby comes to town because she wanted Edie, the bookstore owner, to sell her half of the bookstore to Lauren's nephew, Carter, so she could own it outright. But Edie gives it to Shelby. And later on in at the final chapter, sorry, spoiler, it turns out it's been Shelby's her entire life, but she just didn't know it. Her mother signed it over to her. And, but no one will talk to Shelby about her mom. Every time she brings it up with Edie changes the subject. Then, Lorena gets murdered, bashed over the head, drowned. And there's this guy, Matthew Kessler, who is a gentleman friend of her aunt's, and he is a non-fiction crime writer. And his wife was murdered years ago, So whenever there's a murder anywhere, he's always the prime suspect. And this Chief Stone, she doesn't like Matthew, and really not divulged as to why, so maybe it'll be later on. Because she's always trying to pin stuff on Matthew. She picks him up 3, 4, 5 times in the book to interrogate him. And every time Edie or somebody bows, gets him out of there, out from under her thumb. Because she has nothing to arrest him for. She just likes interrogating the guy. I have no idea why. So there's some undercurrent of not trust there. So and Lorena, she gets murdered because she knew something. But you don't know that till like the end of the book. Like I said, the chief keeps pointing fingers at Matthew, and he's her aunt's friend, and the relationship with Edie and Shelby is quite strange, like I said. And you just didn't feel the love there. You just didn't feel the bonding yet. So it may take a couple of books to work through it, and that may be the author's intention to have it grow and have it work through it. And then the lady in the bakery will probably turn out to be a good friend. And then of course Zach and Drew, or Griffin actually. Drew gives me the creeps, although Krista Davis, her one of the guys in her book is a chef and owns a restaurant. And she's always going there for meals and stuff like that. But she's also does a lot of cooking at hers. And Colby Tucker is also a part-time employee in the bookshop. And her investigation is in pieces. It's not fluid, and a lot of it didn't make any sense. And I she's starting from scratch, and I guess it will get better as the series progresses. Because it is a first book, and you always have to have those stumbling blocks in first books. So you're getting to know the town people, you're getting to know the community, you're getting to know who everybody is, all the main characters. Um, you're getting to know Shelby and her Aunt Edie, and the neighborhood and the houseboat she's on. And I think Shelby needs to move into town. I feel like she's distancing herself on that houseboat. You know, keeping herself, putting I don't know, water between her and everybody else, whatever. She's alone out there on the water. And it's just, I don't know, it just adds to the distance situation. And then these two different guys vying for her attention. So, I don't know if I'm gonna do these or not. I'm thinking about it. I don't think so. Not right now. I don't think I'm into it. I have to think about it. I'll have to see. There's another book over there another series that's got 5 books in it already. And I might branch out into another mystery author. I'll have to see. So let's see now. Shelby comes to this small town. She's part owner of a bookstore with her Aunt Edie, who had an accident and is recuperating at home. And her Aunt Edie wants to come to town to run her half of the bookstore. Shelby doesn't know that the bookstore is actually hers, or half of it's actually hers when she arrives. She encounters Lorna with Miss Attitude, and then Miss Attitude gets killed. and Edie asks Shelby to look into the matter, to ask some questions around town. So she's getting to know all the different shopkeepers, the lady in the bakery, the lady bakery brother, the Coast Guard guy, Griffin. So there's some, connections to be made and possible dating history to continue, and getting to know the layout of the town while she's doing all this investigating. And she's investigating the murder, and poor Matthew, like I said, keeps getting arrested, and he had nothing to do with it. And so it's like, investigate, investigate. What about this smuggling thing? Investigate, investigate, investigate. What about this smuggling thing? Do some more questioning, blah, blah, blah. Who, with Lorna? What was going on with Lorna? There's a big real estate deal in town. This guy wants to build this big, huge hotel and casino, and some part of the town is with him. Some part, like I said, is the rigid structure and wants no part of it. And Lorna wanted her little piece of the pile. Maybe she saw something, heard something she shouldn't have with the real estate deal. Maybe there was a lover squat. Who knows, right? What about this smuggling thing? It's like the whole book. What about this smuggling thing? We'll have to look into that. It was just an idea. So, it's up to you. But it's cute. It's cute. It's cute. I'm not sure. Have a good one.